If you thought the Dan Clark Audio Noir X headphones were impressive, you won't believe the performance of the Noire XO. If you know anything about Dan Clark Audio, it's no surprise that the Noire X has finally received its open back counterpart. Like peanut butter and jelly, you can't have one without the other, and the Dan Clark NOIRE XO headphones are the perfect open back addition to the Noire collection. The NOIRE XO headphones sport a unique edge as one of the few models on the market accurately tuned to the Harman target curve. What does that mean for the sound quality? Let's find out. Okay, let's talk sound. Dan Clark Audio is one of the few hi-fi manufacturers intentionally designing headphones around the Harman curve. As audiophiles, we're all familiar with the Harman target curve on some level. Whether you agree with it or not, it's a valuable tool for headphone measurements and testing. So, if the Noire XO is tuned to follow the Harman target curve, what does that mean for the sound? While most open back headphones struggle to produce the bass output expected from the Harman curve, the Noire XO manages to achieve a powerful bass response that's honestly akin to a closed back headphone. I truly have to say the most incredible thing about the Noire XO is its bass response. Anyone who's familiar with open back headphones, they know that impactful bass is usually their weakness, but somehow Dan Clark has managed to deliver a bass response that's really what you would expect from a closed back headphone. I'm talking deep, extended bass with real visceral impact. I decided to test the bass response by throwing on some of today's hip hop hits that have that really distinct bass line, and the Noire XO handled it beautifully, delivering low distortion but impressive extension. Now mind you, it's not subwoofer level bass, but that mid bass and sub bass energy is absolutely there. The overall sound signature is dynamic, rich, and incredibly balanced. When I put on Ain't That a Kick in the Head by Dean Martin, I was placed right in the middle of the action. The brass instruments, the percussion, just everything that can easily kind of become fatiguing stayed smooth and sweet even when I cranked up the volume to really test the limits. The soundstage on these babies is spacious, you get precise imaging, and female vocals were a standout for me. They were rich, harmonious, and full of character. This is a headphone that's gonna work across all genres. Acoustic and folk songs, they sound light and airy with that classic open back presentation, while high energy genres like hip hop and pop, you get that impactful low end that usually requires you to go closed back. Now, you might be wondering, how does this compare to the closed back Noire X? Because the Noire XO is an open back headphone and the Noire X is closed back, they're going to have their obvious sonic differences. In terms of bass, the Noire X definitely has more rumble and presence. You know, that's the closed back advantage. But the Noire XO takes the crown when it comes to soundstage, imaging, and instrument separation. You get that amphitheater style presentation that truly only an open back headphone can deliver. The mid-range on the XO has more articulation and nuance while still staying musical and dynamic. Vocals have that breathy, airy quality to them when you need it, and the mid-range just bleeds harmony. So, which one should you choose? I would say that it really comes down to what you want in a headphone. Do you need complete isolation and immersion? Go with the closed back. Between open, airy, and spacious, or bold, dynamic, and smooth, which sound are you looking for? Which one do you enjoy more? Design-wise, Dan Clark has kept their winning formula. The Noire XO sports the same all-black aesthetic as its closed-back sibling, from the tension rods to the ear cups and the ear pads. At 408 grams, it's slightly heavier than the Noire X's 385 grams, but honestly, you won't even notice the difference. The self-tensioning headband design is fantastic. It's one of my favorite things about Dan Clark, honestly, because it automatically adjusts to different head shapes, so your comfort is never an issue. The ear pads, super squishy, nice and comfortable. They're made from Alcantara synthetic suede, which reduces heat and moisture buildup. Plus, they're backward compatible with other Dan Clark models like the Aeon 2 series and the Noire X, which is a pretty nice touch. I love that the Dan Clark Audio headphones have that folding architecture, so you can fold the ear cups inward and put them in the included hard shell carrying case. The construction combines titanium, aluminum, and carbon fiber, so you get that ultralight feeling while maintaining long-term durability. The cable situation is refreshingly simple. At the time of purchase, choose from a 1/4 inch, a 3.5mm 4-pin XLR, or 4.4mm connector. Make sure that you stay tuned in all the way until the end of this video because we have a special Dragon cable recommendation that you're not going to want to miss. Now for the features. Let's dive into the tech that makes these headphones special. The NOIRE XO features Dan Clark's signature AMTS, Acoustic Metamaterial Tuning System. This isn't new tech for Dan Clark, but it's incredibly effective. AMTS works to eliminate high-frequency standing waves, which are responsible for the synthetic, fatiguing treble that you could potentially hear. By eliminating these standing waves, you get remarkably balanced, nuanced treble that you can listen to for hours on end. The driver is the NOIRE audio driver, which is significantly more rigid than the driver in the Aeon 2 series. It features a redesigned V-planar driver that starts and stops quickly, giving you that powerful, textured sound quality with low distortion across the entire frequency range. Feature and tech, pretty simple, straightforward, and effective. With no shortage of headphone cables to choose from here at Moon Audio, I was thrilled at how beautifully the NOIRE XO complemented our Blue Dragon premium headphone cable, and also our Bronze Dragon headphone cable. The Blue Dragon sound signature is clear and neutral, the perfect choice for the NOIRE XO. Because the NOIRE XO is tuned so precisely, it doesn't really need any added coloration or alteration. Think of the Blue Dragon as an eyeglass cleaner. It doesn't improve the prescription strength of the lenses, it just cleans it so you can see more clearly. The Bronze Dragon headphone cable is our newest cable to join our Dragon Audio lineup. It just launched, and it's the cable that you don't want to pass up if you're going to make an upgrade. The Bronze Dragon headphone cable is the first in our line to use graphene, a material that's incredibly strong and flexible. The Bronze Dragon headphone cable is balanced, dynamic, and detailed. It will complement the smooth, balanced sound quality of the XO while enhancing the musicality. It's neutral and natural sounding, much like the Blue Dragon, but with some enhanced dynamics, details, and musicality. You can't go wrong with either cable, and like we say with all of our Dragon cables, it really comes down to what sound signature you like and what you're looking to enhance with your headphones. So here's my final take on the Dan Clark Audio NOIRE XO. These headphones sit in a league of their own. For $12.99, you get an audiophile headphone that delivers the impossible open back spaciousness with closed back bass impact. It's the perfect headphone for the dynamic listener who wants both analytical detail and musical warmth. If I had to describe these headphones in 3 words, harmonious, balanced, poised. The NOIRE XO proves that Dan Clark continues to surprise us, and honestly, that's what makes them so exciting to follow. Check out our full written review linked in the description below and shop all Dan Clark Audio products at moon-audio.com. Give this video some love with a thumbs up, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks so much for watching.